I am so glad that you are here. First of all, tell me where you're from, what you are drinking. And I want to give you a quick reminder that the legacy rate for the Mighty Circle ends tonight at 7 p.m. Sorry, 8 p.m. And I will get more into that later, but first I want to talk so much talk about being tired. Like first of all, this is something I'm so passionate about, and of course I have something in my eye. But okay, as women over 40, a lot of the time we think that certain things are normal when they actually aren't. And I think that we have slowly accepted this, but quite often it isn't. So let's talk about what normal energy looks like even after 40. And if you're just arriving, let me know where you're from, what you're drinking. I am on Vancouver Island. It's rainy today, but I'm happy because I seeded some carrots again and they need just to stay wet. And I have a delicious tea because I love it. It's biscuit tea. It's from the UK. I have to order it off of Amazon and it's like $15 for a box. It's crazy. Okay, let's get to what normal energy looks like after the age of 40. Steady energy throughout the day. Let me know if you can relate to this. You're not needing constant boosts. You're not needing like coffee or tea or whatever. I drink tea because I like it. It's very soothing. It literally is like my hug, and I am obsessed with it. Normal means you can focus, your body recovers well, and you feel capable of doing your day. So it doesn't mean perfect. Normal is not perfect. It just means that your body is working with you and not against you. And you don't necessarily, this doesn't mean like this is how you feel every single day. We're not necessarily just like, yes, I'm like so energized all the time. But here's what often feels common to women over 40, and it's not exactly normal. So, tired most afternoons, low energy in the morning, needing caffeine to get going, feeling off, but not sick exactly. But when you wake up and you're just like, I just don't feel great. It's often harder to lose weight, and we often get sick more often. And this is really common, shockingly common. There was a study that found over 30% of women say they're tired all of the time. And I personally, just knowing all of the people I'm talking to, seems like that's probably an underreported fatigue. Anyway, but common doesn't always mean normal. So here is we're the same age, Miriam. Here is what is not normal: feeling drained most of the time, always needing caffeine or sugar. And what's great is these are the easy ones to fix. Energy crashes daily, feeling like everything takes more effort than it should, constantly trying to catch up physically. And you just don't have the energy to be doing the things you want. Maybe you want to like take control of your house and you're like, I just don't have the energy. So if you feel tired more often than energy, something is off. And in some cases, you are going to need to talk to your doctor. But in some cases, it isn't a huge adjustment that needs to be made, but I would definitely always say get some blood work done. For me, like I have had low iron, I had low vitamin D, crazy things. Okay, so let's get into what some of the causes of that are. Now, you guys know I can't not talk about food, water, and shelter because these are the things that I am so passionate about. So, food, not eating enough protein, eating the wrong carbohydrates for what you're doing. Now, I'm not going to say there's bad carbohydrates. I'm not going to say there are definitely good carbohydrates, but some of them, we just need to eat them strategically. So we don't want quick carbs. Sometimes we're like, I'm just so tired. I need this muffin. Or I've been really picking on muffins lately because I just recorded a bunch of stuff for the membership. But and I think that quite often a lot of us were raised thinking muffins are healthy. Let's just have toast. Meanwhile, there's a way to still eat those things, but to eat them strategically. Another thing that can cause like food related issues is inconsistent eating, not getting the protein, how I mentioned, sort of just not balancing things properly. And your body cannot create energy without proper fuel. And it is amazing how much we think that it can. Another thing is water. Dehydration, mild dehydration all day, forgetting to drink. This is very common, especially seniors as they age. It becomes there's like less cues to remember to drink, which is a shame. And that being said, I'm gonna have a quick sip of tea. Yes, sweet potato versus white rice. Exactly. And even like some people say, oh, white potatoes are bad. Not exactly. It's just how we eat them. So again, water, even small dehydration affects energy. And then shelter. Shelter. This is something I have been talking about for years on this channel. And it's only recently where I've said I want to start talking to people a little bit more about the other things like the food and the water and other things, because that is, I was like, why am I leaving that stuff out? This stuff is so important. But shelter, your home. Your home is your shelter, what you're surrounding yourself with, what you see when you wake up, when you go to sleep, when you walk in the kitchen, all of these things are important. So the clutter, the visual noise, the unfinished tasks, the constant low level stress, your environment is either supporting your energy or draining it. So your body isn't just tired from what you're doing, it is tired from what it's dealing with all day. And often we get in these ruts, and it truly is. This is why I feel like so many women are so exhausted, especially after the age of 40, just because our energy reserves just aren't what they were. I mean, it is what it is. We just have to accept it. But there is something that can be done. We just need to be a little bit more intentional. So, most women, when they're like, okay, omelets are a good source of protein, you would also want to pair that with a carbohydrate as well for your energy. And a little tip is it's great to have your carbohydrate towards the end of your meal so it doesn't spike your blood sugar. But I don't want to get into too much of that. Otherwise, I'll be talking to you all day about it. I did just put a lesson about this in our membership group, and I will show you that later, just so you see what it's all about. So, quite often we're like, okay, yes, okay, food, water, and shelter. Well, I'm just going to overhaul my diet. I am going to start drinking 2 gallons of water. I knew I worked with a nurse, and she had this huge thing. She would carry it around, and it was full of water. And I just think that's great, but we need to start things slowly, micro shifts. Because if we try to fix everything at once, nothing is sticking. If we're like, okay, I'm going to do all of those things and I'm going to declutter my house, so good to just take it back a step. Tiny changes, huge results. So instead, what we can focus on is one action. So protect one energy habit. So, for example, and I actually happened to do this as well. Um, is I just started slowly making sure that I was getting protein in the morning. And that is something you can do. A lot of people, they're not getting protein in the morning. Meanwhile, it is so important that you do. So they're getting that protein in the morning. They're having their water first thing. They're going for a short walk. And you could just start slowly working on one part of your house, but you don't need to do it all. You can just do one thing, not 5 things, just one. And you can make it easy and just make it consistent. And this is where things will start to shift. And women will be like, yes, like I am starting to see this. And Tired and True, which is really funny that that's what your channel name is. But she says, like, I burn out quickly. And that's the thing is we try to do too many things at once. And I am like 1,000,000,000% guilty of this. I actually have a thing on my wall. I should even put this in the membership, and it's be gentle. Just be gentle. Do things gently, do things slowly. Because most of us, when we start doing that and then we burn out, we lose all of our gains, we crash, and we don't keep going. And that is the real problem. That's why we're always starting over and over and over all of the time. So inside the Mighty Circle, it's a follow through system for women who are tired of starting over. It's where you finally do the things that you know will help you, but gently. and together. And we don't try to fix everything. Each month, there is just one habit for the house, one focus for energy. That's it. One step forward. So this month, for example, or last month, I'll say first for March, we did the living room. We just focused on cleaning the living room. And I always do a thing where we just first we assess it, we triage it, then we declutter, we organize things, and then we're like, what systems can I put in place so that this stays clean? That's it. Each week, you just do one of those little things. So, our one room, one focus room. And then the habit that we started was protein. March was protein month, so we were all focusing on getting more protein. This month, April 1st, that's why this is like the last day of the legacy rate, which I'll tell you more about in a second. But this month, I'm so excited because the space, the focus is the living or is the bedroom, not closet. Closet is next month, but we're doing the bedroom because if there is not a room that is there's such an important room for you to focus on, it is your bedroom. I mean, I'm all about the kitchen, but the bedroom, like girl, that is where you're going to bed. That is where you are waking up. You want it to be a calm and peaceful place. So we are working on that using the exact same method I just said. And our habit is we are making more energy. So we did protein last month. This month, we're looking at carbs and fat, just sort of to balance it out. It's going to be so good because once we have those things dialed in, and each month there are more things coming, but I feel like those are like the most foundational things because for me personally, those were the eating was a huge barrier for me, plus my home. When I was an emerge nurse, it was so hard to come home after a long day, being exhausted, eating muffins and pizza that people would bringing in, donuts, all of the things. So dead tired, working all day, dealing with people, dealing with very traumatic situations, and then coming home to a messy house. It was terrible. So these are the areas we're focusing on. And one of my favorite things about the Mighty Circle is that it's all about support. You are not doing it alone. You have structure. So, as I said, we have the focus, we have the habit, but you also, so you know what to focus on, but you have that support. I'm posting in there often. Others are posting their wins. Some people post their questions. It is so good. Um, and you will start to feel lighter once you start doing those things. Once you start slowly taking care of your environment, and we don't need a quick overhaul. The Mighty Circle, I have like a room for each month of the year that we focus on. Your home feels easier, and then your energy will improve, and you feel like yourself again. And the energy stuff is new, but as the nurse in me was like, "I can't stay quiet about this any longer. I have to, like, shout it from the rooftop." So I was like, "I'm bringing it in." And that was why I had to change the, pricing. So this is the last chance to get it at the legacy price of $15 a month or $115 or $150 a year, but it will be going up to 19 a month and then 190 as of 8 PM Pacific time tonight. So this is your chance. And it's 8 PM, not midnight, because I want to, honor what I've said. So I need to change a few things. And I'm not staying up till midnight, you guys. I I gotta get up early in the morning. And I don't want you having to stay up late either. So here's what happens when you join. You are going to come in and you will see exactly where to start. In fact, let me just share my screen with you and I will just show you inside. So, first of all, when you go to the page, which I guess I should actually get ready here. There it is. If you click to join, it says there's a 7-day trial, which there is because I want you to come in and see if you like it. So if you're like, I'm not really into it, you have 7 days to cancel. Also, if you join monthly, you can cancel anytime. If you choose the annual rate, you have a whole month to decide if this is for you or not, plus the week. So it's like 5 weeks. So you have that option. It's on School. It's not on Facebook. Now, a lot of people have over the years messaged me and said, I want to join, but I don't want to be on Facebook. And what's awesome about school is you're not getting advertisements. I actually pay for a higher tier. So you're not even getting advertised like other school communities. It's just totally focused. And if you're like, I'm afraid I won't remember to check it, don't worry, because there are emails that come that let you know when I've posted something big in there. So, like today, the first day of April, an email went out that told people what was in there. If you join, you can get in there and see what it looks like. So, you need to just create the school membership. And what's great is you can see up here, where's my, uh, there we go. Okay. Let me see, which page am I sharing? Okay, it's this one. I actually had it open in 2 tabs. So if you look here, there are other ones that I'm a part of. So I only need 1 login, which is great. So if you create a school login, it's great. There's also this fun little thing, which is like, let me be cat. No, you put down, let there be cat, I think. I have it on there. But if you push it, there's like music. It's very fun. And you can choose all the music. I don't know. I actually sometimes will use it. So once you log in, we have this welcome school tour. So I show you around. I actually need to unpin this because it is now April. And I did post the April thing there. Oh, there we go. So this is it. Welcome to April, Mighties. And you get this reminding you a video here. So that's just the homepage. And then that's just where you post your questions, your wins, all of the things. We have the classroom. So you start here. You're going to get a lay of the land. I invite you to do a time audit. Not required. Nothing is required. If you're like, I only want to declutter, that's fine. If you're like, I only want to work on my energy, that's fine. So we have the home pillar. Every room is here, including digital. This is the month we're doing right now, bedroom. And then I've got like the triage your bedroom. Each week there's something. The other thing is the health pillar. Now I just updated this. I put a ton of work into this over the last few weeks. So food foundations, this is it. We have got protein, carbohydrates, fats, and macros. Now, what I said in the message I put out to the ladies today was, don't jump into all of these. Focus on one of these. We're doing energy for the month. So you could do one each month. Protein, getting your protein, working on your carbohydrates, working on fats, because fats are very important for our body, very important for your brain. And then macros, putting it all together. And then I have a couple of resources, just the things that I like to use, protein, fiber, all of the things. There also is a mindset pillar. This first one is about subconscious. This one is going to be a little lighter because I feel like the most important thing is that we're just like showing up and doing the stuff. There's a calendar so you can see when our next call is. There's a member list. I won't show you that. And then I love this because it shows where everybody is. We got people all over. We've got somebody in Hawaii. I've got people in Europe. I even have one over here in Hong Kong. So that is inside of the Mighty Circle. And when you sign up, again, like I said, it will give you the option just to just create your school account. And then you can just do a week for free. And you can choose if you want to do annually, which you would save 2 months. Plus, this is the legacy rate. If you're Canadian, email me or just let me know when you get in. And I will, I'm going to refund you $30 just to sort of cover the exchange. Plus, you have to pay tax. And I collect that tax and pay it to Revenue Canada. So just let me know. And even if you've already signed up and you're like, I'm in my trial, I didn't know, just message me and I'll take care of you, because I don't want people, suffering as a result of our terrible exchange rate, because we suffer enough. Okay, let's get back to talking about being tired though. So one of the most important things to remember though, and if you have any questions, write QQQ. or just write it in there. Hopefully, there's not too many people chatting, so I don't think I'll miss it. But just type it in there and let me know what you're thinking. If you're curious about anything, if you have questions about decluttering, about energy, whatever, let me know. And I'll let you know for me what I do to focus on my energy. The most important thing for me, honestly, is just how I'm consuming carbohydrates. I love, love bread. I love all of the things, but I love to do the glucose goddess method where she suggests, because this is a scientist who's her study is like blood sugar and food. So I actually did the thing where you got the glucometer and you put it, I think, on your arm there. And I did an experiment where I saw what I ate and how it affected my blood sugar, because you can feel your blood sugar going up. And it's a very fun thing that I did. So I the first time I took it, I was with my friend. She was actually spending the night because she had surgery, and she lives alone, so I was taking care of her. And we after she had her surgery, she was hungry, so we went to a bakery, and I ate just like a croissant on its own, and my blood sugar shot up. Uh, a couple of days before that, what I had done was my grandma was turning 90. She's 92 now, but we had a party for her and I was eating so much junk food. But what I ate first was I ate like pepperoni and some other little meats and some veggies and stuff. And then I had cake. I had other breads, things like that. And my blood sugar did not go up that much. So it's how you actually eat it that matters. But also, what matters is that the more whole grain things are better for you. The more complex carbohydrates, like the sweet potatoes, like Miriam here was saying, are so, so much better for you. Um, and I'll just put that away. Um, so just it's not a bad thing to be having chips and cookies some of the time, but I like to practice the 80-20 rule. My whole thing, because Alzheimer's runs in my family. My grandpa has it. He's getting closer to the later stages of it right now. And all of his siblings, there were 5 of them, died of it. And so I think I might be a carrier. I don't want to be tested. I do not want to know the genes for that, because I just know that I'd be like, where are my keys? And then I'd start freaking out. So instead, my goal is just to really take care of myself over the next few years. But I still eat things like cake. And I made, like, my husband for his birthday, he's got a blood sugar, or he's got high cholesterol, and he has like a genetic predisposition to like really high cholesterol and laying down plaque. So instead of cupcakes, we made cinnamon rolls, which isn't really that much better. Even like things that drive up your blood sugar can make the cholesterol stick differently. It's a whole thing, but we still have fun a little bit at the time. But I also love healthy food. I have a salad every day for lunch, every day, because I just don't feel good if I don't. And I'm not saying you have to, but these are the things that I do to help my energy, is making sure that my carbohydrate is at the end of the meal. I'm getting vegetables and fruit at the beginning of the meal. Actually, the fruit would come at the end because it's a carbohydrate. Another thing that is so helpful is walking, exercise. Walking on I have a walking pad here, and I will raise up my desk and I will just like walk while I'm doing stuff. Actually, some of the printables that I put in the membership, which I did not show you, but they're gorgeous. I was working on those, and I was just walking away on my treadmill. Here, I want to show you one because it's so pretty. I just like showing my pretty things. And so getting that exercise, it just feels so, so good. Window. Here we go. So this is the carb one, Food Foundation's carbohydrates. As you may know, I've got a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, got a disclaimer there. So anyway, we just get into like, what are carbohydrates? I even have sort of like the recommended amounts, calories, all of the things. I won't bore you with that for too long, but It is so while I was walking on my treadmill, I was very happy to be working on that and getting my steps in. I'll take my watch and I put it in the side of my sock so I get the steps because I want to know how many steps I got. Looking for my keys is the worst. My husband finally hung hooks by the door. Now I don't even have to think about it or waste time looking for keys. I wish my husband was like that. He's the one that loses his keys. We ended up getting air tags for his key. It's like basically, I think I bought 4 air tags, and all but one are for him, and one is for my keys, basically because other people lose my keys. Because I always just keep stuff in the same spot. And that's the thing. These are the habits. When I talk about my mighty method, the thrive, that's part of it. So back to energy. Another thing I focus on is getting water. I drink water before I do anything else in the morning. I have a glass. I basically put it in my cup, fill it up, drink water, and then I make tea. May as well have a sip. Cheers. And so I make sure that I am getting proper food, lots of protein, lots of vegetables, making sure I'm doing the carbohydrates correctly. It's not complicated, and you will feel a million times better getting the steps in, getting the water, getting lots of sleep. And of course, like making sure, like mentally, that my environment is clean so I feel good. Anybody else have any questions? Because I came here totally happy to chat for like an hour. Let me go to YouTube and see if I have any questions. I have a lot of people because I have been posting a bit more health related stuff lately because I retired from nursing at a very young age. I knew that it was important to still use what I knew because it's so important to just like live your life, have that energy, do that thing, spend the time with the family. Don't just feel like you have to just be sort of shackled to the couch all of the time or just like, oh, I'm exhausted. This person says cats do need containers all the time, but they easily find their own. We have 4 cats and 3 of them are disabled. And so if you're ever like, oh my gosh, I get questions all the time where people are like, I'm so distracted by your cats. Are your cats okay? And they are. They have a thing called cerebellar hypoplasia. So there's cerebellum, which is in the back of our brains and their brains. It causes us to, or it helps with balance and coordination. They don't have that. And actually, I had made a video about the kitchen and being clean, and we talked about going in and sort of like doing a fridge clean out every now and then. And this person said that they ordered dissolvable labels for $20 from Amazon, and that is what they use. Let me see here. Yeah, some people were obsessed with my cats in that video too. Looking for some questions, and it's mostly either people talking about my cats. Nothing better than a tidy kitchen. It is so true. Next time I'll get some questions ready. Can you share the name of your kitchen backsplash tile and share more about your fiber supplement? The backsplash tile is like a Subway tile. The fiber supplement, on the other hand, it's called Daily Cleanse, and it has, I think it's got chia, it has flax, it has rice bran. It is so good because fiber is really important too. In addition to being an emergency nurse, I also worked in endoscopy, and we worked with doing colonoscopies and gastroscopies. I also worked with the plastic surgeons who were removing like skin cancer and doing cataract surgery. That was a really fun place to work. But what I saw every day, I would see colon cancers or polyps. And one of the most important things you can do to help prevent that is getting fiber. So, part of my breakfast, I actually uploaded that and um, into the I think the carbohydrate section. I uploaded what my breakfast is. And I have chia seeds, or I have a half a cup of raspberries, or three-quarters of a cup of milk, a scoop of protein powder because you want that protein, a teaspoon of chia seeds, half a scoop, which is about 2 tablespoons, 1 to 2 tablespoons of this daily cleanse, which I think tastes delicious. It's almost like a digestive cookie, I would say. Yeah. And then just like 2 tablespoons of granola because, 20% fun. And it is so delicious. Tons of protein, the right carbohydrates, so good. So Piano Debug asks, how much water should we drink turning 70? So this is a thing, and I mentioned this before. I don't know if you heard this, but as we age, the thirst drive decreases, which is weird and unfortunate because everybody needs water all of the time and we don't want to be chronically dehydrated. My husband actually for a while, because he has ADHD, so he goes through phases, but he was like making sure he got tons of water. He was like, I am so much less tired because he's already been doing sort of the macros, like the eating, as I've discussed with the carbohydrates and all of the things, but getting that extra water was so helpful. So apparently for women, it says that we should be getting around um 15 cups a day. A lot of people have said it just depends. It depends on a lot of things. So first of all, here's what I do. Before I do anything, before I take my stomach pill in the morning, I have a glass. I just, like I said, I put water in this. Doesn't like this heats stuff up, but it's so fast that I just drink that down. Boom, 1 cup of water. Then I try to have another cup of water because I drink tea all day, which does actually count. And there are apps that can help you keep track of your water. But things like tea and coffee, they count, but they can also, you still will lose some water. It's a whole thing, like how it works in the kidneys. But that's why people who never drink water, they're not dead, but it's not as good or as hydrating. So I personally try to get about 5 cups of water plus about 4 to 5 cups of tea a day. Oh, yes, let's talk about diverticulosis. But in the summer, I need way more. On days where I'm exercising, I need way more. On days when I am um, out in the garden or it's hot out or whatever, way more. If there are days when I am just sort of being a much more sedentary, I don't necessarily need a lot. Although in the winter time, quite often, it's very drying, a lot of the indoor heat. So if you're not drinking enough, if suddenly you're like, I am really thirsty, that is a sign when you're like, okay, I need to drink a little bit more water. Now, if you are like, I don't feel thirst, so I must not need more water, don't necessarily rely on this. One of the best things to do, and I know people hate to say this, but as a former nurse, it's very hard to embarrass me, but is the color of your urine. If your urine is a very light yellow or almost clear, then you are good to go. Sometimes if we're dehydrated and you're not drinking enough water, you're going to have headaches. Your urine will be a much darker. You may be very tired. You may be have a little bit of confusion. We're just sort of like, and I'm not like being like, where am I? But more like, what was I? I mean, this happens all the time for over 40, but we'll be like, what was I doing? But it could also just be, sort of like your thinking is a little slower than normal. That can happen when you are dehydrated. So the best thing, honestly, is try to get a little bit more and check the color of your urine. Also, I try to not really have too much to drink after dinner. I have basically like 1 glass of water or like a herbal tea. Okay. How does fiber work with diverticulosis? So, diverticulosis is a little bit different because these are people who have like little pouches in their colon. And unfortunately, things like seeds and that can get caught in there, which can create an infection called diverticulitis. So what's best is to talk to your doctor about that in particular, because I don't even know what the current recommendations are for fiber for that. I know that preventing that, the best way to prevent it is with fiber. So, tips for sleep. Besides not being able to go to bed as early as I would like, no matter how hard I try, my deep sleep is lacking. I do have cats that sleep on me, not willing to ban them. Okay. Well, the cats could be part of the problem. I do have a child who is allergic to cats, as am I. I don't sleep with cats, although I do let the little one come in and he reads with me. He is my reading buddy, my reading cat. Um, but I don't want them in my room to affect my sleep. And my son this morning, because he's like 16 and a half, so he's in this single bed, um, and this taking up a lot of room. Uh, 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 and I was like, oh my gosh. But if you don't want to ban your cats, I totally understand. If at all possible, maybe there's like a bed you can make for them or something. As for sleep, first of all, I will always recommend Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. I love that book so, so much. I'll just put a link here because I always talk about it. It is so interesting, if nothing else. My brother, he was having insomnia for a while, and that book helped him. Like it basically cured his insomnia. He had tried a bunch of things. The doctor had there's the link in there. The doctor had recommended sleeping pills, all of these things. Meanwhile, he just needed to read this book, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, about how it works and how to overcome insomnia. The other thing, though, I don't know if you drink caffeine. I love tea. I love it so much. And I used to have my last cup of tea close to 5 p.m. Now I try to have it by 1 p.m. at the latest. Today it will definitely be 1 p.m. because I did have trouble falling asleep last night. Sometimes up to 2 p.m. I go to bed at 11. A lot of people say you should not have it after 12. That's one thing. Another thing is to really reduce stimulating activities closer to bed. So, not a lot of lights, screens. For me, I read, but I don't want to read like a paper book with a lamp behind me. I have a Kindle that's backlit, but it's backlit like a yellow color and it's like a black screen. So, it's mostly just like white or like yellow text. Things like that can be really helpful. And also having a really predictable um, routine before you sleep. If you have a predictable routine, your body is going to be like, "Oh, it's time. This is what we do before we go to sleep," and that can be really valuable. So I hope that helps. I totally understand not wanting to disturb the cats. We had that problem. One of our cats, the youngest, he wanted in. It's his birthday. He is a total fool, so it makes sense that his birthday is April Fool's Day. But he was meowing and meowing and meowing, and I felt so bad. But then I have this little house for him, and it's got a hole, and I just put it outside of our bedrooms, and he is so happy. When we all go to bed, he goes up, climbs in his house, and everybody's happy. It's so good. So yes, take for your energy, the most important things: food, watching what you eat, getting the protein, the carbohydrates, water, shelter, making sure your home is tidy. This helps with mental energy and the sleep. I think all of that is really helpful. So, again, I will remind you this is the last chance to get the legacy rate for the Mighty Circle. It goes up at 8 p.m. tonight, Pacific time. I hope to see you in there. We're getting lots of people who are signing up, and it is just the best way to take control as a group. I think that's another big thing is unfortunately since 2020 there's just been less sort of socialness. And yes, this is online, but what's great, first of all, on the map, you can see there's other people near you. So you could always be like, hey, does anybody want to get together? The other thing though is it's just so nice to like log in and like chat and have support with others. I like that. I like that a lot. So thank you for coming. I hope something great happens for you today. Yay, Claudine. That was you that made that little, it went ching. That's awesome. Woohoo. I hope something great happens for you today. Thank you so much for watching.